Hello, welcome back to Cam's Classics. Today we're going to put some brakes on the Jeep. We got front and back, so I'm going to start with the back because they're the worst ones. And if I only get half of them done today, I want to get the backs done. So pop the wheel off. That to the side. Okay, so as you can kind of see, these have been grooving in a little bit. So we are doing rotors and pads. So let me find the tools I need and we'll come back to you in just a minute. Okay, so they are a hex head. I do have a breaker bar because they may take a little bit of break. Once I get them broke, then I can put a ratchet on it. Okay. There's only a little bit of space in here, so I can't get much turn on it. We'll get one out, show you what we've got, and then we'll go to the next one. So there. I think this one might actually be out. Pliers. Okay, so here's what you have. There's two of those. That's what holds your caliper in. So we'll get the other one out and we'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, so I was a little bit wrong. Those are the slider pins. I do want to pull them out and lube them up anyway with the caliper grease. But I built this, just a little wire to hold my caliper and hang that. Pull out this last bolt. You just don't want that hanging on. I need to bend that like that. Just don't want it hanging by that hose. So these are the other bolts. I'll be sure to put some anti-seize on them before I put them back in. And this has been on here for a while. We already verified that one's correct. Okay, so we're going to have to get this off. So let us come back to you in just a minute. Okay, so a little elbow grease, a little penetrating fluid, and removing this O-ring. They put an O-ring on there, don't know why, probably to keep the moisture out. Didn't work, so we will put it back on because it was there. So we do want to look at these. These are the emergency brake shoes. They look fine. So let me get this one out of the way here. And here's our new one. Before I do anything with it, you can see it's kind of got some grease and stuff on it. I want to make sure it's going to fit over our emergency brakes, and it does. So everything's looking good on that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab a set of gloves and I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I got my gloves on. The reason for that, I don't want to get grease all over these rotors. As we've said before, when they ship these, they come with a coating on them. Use brake cleaner, use a rag, get it off. Because these do have this emergency brake in here, that's also going to be coated. So I want to get this top back and the inside of this back side. Get all that coating off. That is a good way to ruin a brand new set of rotors. Okay, and here I just need to get the outside edge because that's where the brake pads are up. But I am going to take the end and wipe that off as well. Okay, so we'll put that on. Our O-ring, there's a groove in here. We'll put that back on. Make sure it falls in that groove. There we go, it's in the groove. Okay. Now on our calipers here. can see the pads aren't that bad, but they were chewing into the rotors and making noise, so we're going to change them. Let me hook this back up just for a second while I grab a tool. I do want to grease these caliper bolts. And we are going to have to push these in. As you can see, there's a little bit of a drag on those. We're going to want to clean those up and get them taken care of. So. Give us a little bit and we'll come back to you when we're ready to put these back, when we get the tool to compress these. Hey, welcome back. We got our caliper tool here. I was glad to see that it was the other style of brake shoe, the brake shoe style parking brake, because the others are a pain in the butt that you have to press while turning them, twisting them in. So basically all I've got to do, run this caliper in, because what will happen is that over time that presses out to take care of the thickness of the brake pads. So take that out, show you what it is. So this presses against one side, this presses against the piston. If you have dual pistons, then you have to have another adapter to push against both pistons at the same time. Otherwise, when you push one in, it'll push the other out. But let me grab our pads here. This one goes to the inside. That's what I got a pocket for. That one's in. This one sits like that. And we just got to make sure that we will fit over, and we will. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. And I'll just set this here for a second, because we need to put it back together. So this goes in here, like so. It goes on here like so. Okay, well, let me find my grease and we'll come back in a minute. I'm just going to grease these and put it in, and then we'll come back when we got that ready. Okay, so we got our caliper and bracket put back together. Slide it on here. And so just tighten those up. We'll do the other side. It's the same as this side. and then we'll hop to the fronts and we'll do the fronts. So we'll be back with you when we're ready to do the fronts. Hey, welcome back. We got the brakes done on the back. We're working on the fronts here. Let me go ahead and we'll get these bolts broke free. So we got them broke free. Grab our wire chunk, wherever I set it. I think it's over here. So again, we got our little wire that we're using to hold our calipers. I'm gonna go ahead and shove it in here. And we'll take our Milwaukee. Here's our bolts to hold our caliper on, 2 of those. Take this off. We gotta get that tied off because okay. Little hammer on that takes that right off. You'll see these aren't as bad as the backs, but they've never been changed. And they're growling just a little bit, so go ahead and change them. Again, these come with a coating on them. Gotta wipe it off with some brake fluid. And putting our little O-ring back on them. Pick up our tool so we don't lose it. Okay. And then I'm going to grab the other tool that I need. If I can find where it went. There it is. I'm going to set this where I can easily grab it. So, if I caliper off, move our wire out of the way, and then we can just kind of lay this right over on top. So, I'll grab my screwdriver. There it is. Throw it to you guys. Okay. See, these aren't too bad. They're wore down a little bit, but not bad. And there's our new ones. So we're about half, but they were kind of making grinding noises and not really working that well. So you can see there's kind of some little grooves in it. The back ones were much worse than these, but we're gonna swap them out. So. Yeah, these aren't too bad, but. Okay. So these, I'm just going to check these to make sure they're not too bad. I'm going to actually clean these ones up and lube them a little bit. I'll show you what we use on that. But first I'm going to go ahead and push these in. These are a dual piston, so I'll show you what you can do with these. So I'm putting one hand on that and holding it from going out. Push that one all the way in. Back off our tool. They actually make one that's for 2 piston calipers, 4 piston calipers. I'll just put my hand on that one, and it is going to come out just a little bit because I can't hold that much pressure. Push that one all the way in. You just kind of got to work back and forth until you get them all the way in. This can come out just a bit, so jump over to it. And that's good. Okay, let me grab this strap. Come over here and let me show you what we're going to do. I'm just going to spray right directly on my rag. And we're going to wipe these off really well. Remove anything that's on them. What this will allow the brakes to do, it'll be glide back and forth a whole lot easier, a whole lot better. So as you can see, these are now clean. They had a little bit of stuff on them. I'm just going to take this, it's Wagner brake lubricant. Just put a very small amount on. You're not looking to put a lot. And just rub that on there. All it is a very small amount of lubricant. But you don't want to get too much or it'll actually gum it up to where it won't move. And we'll put them back in. See how smooth that slides now? That's what you want. Okay. I got grease on here. You do not want to get grease on brake pads. Again, got a pocket here for one. I'm going to use the back of the screwdriver just to finish tapping those on. Take my other one. Slam them into place. And this is the hard part. You can see that one's not in. We'll come back to you. This takes 2 men. There's just me and Jenna here, so I'm gonna make her help me. But basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a clamp on here, and that'll press that down in until I can push that in with the screwdriver. So we'll come back when we have that on. Okay, so as you can see, like I said, you just gotta push that down with the clamp until you can push that in with the screwdriver, then let off your clamp. So let's put this back on. Okay, now I have them started. I'll put it on with this. Apparently that one is not on. There we go. And for good measure, okay, so these ones I could twist, so they were easy to get to. Let me twist it back because we don't want to be fighting that when we go to pull it out. Okay, so our next step, we're going to put tires back on. You should know how to put tires on. So we'll put them back on, torque them to spec, and then we'll show you how to get your brakes set after you've switched them. So all four, we're not going to have any brakes for a second. Okay, we got the tires on, torqued to 130 foot-pounds like the owner's manual says. Now we're ready to start it up. And I'm pumping the brake slowly. I want to get a little bit of pedal before I put it in gear. So I got a little bit of pedal. And I just want to pump them hard as I go back. And I got good brake pedal now, so I can just back it on out. Just making sure occasionally that they're still good. Reverse, put it in forward, give it a little gas. Perfect. So we'll close down the shop and then we'll go for a little quick ride and make sure they're working good. So we got the brakes on this done. We got a little bit more work to do. That's why it's on the lift again, so we can do that other work. Bedded the brakes in. Basically what you do, get going 50 miles an hour and lay on them. Did that a couple times just to get the brakes bedded in, and everything seems to be working pretty good. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.